Dare you go to the scariest, most mysterious places in the world? The world is extremely vast with thousands of strange places that we have never discovered. I was extremely surprised that there are places in the world where it is as hot as 56 degrees Celsius, or places where people live with temperatures of minus 71 degrees Celsius. Those are dangerous places due to the natural environment, but there are also places that are always lurking in danger created by humans, such as places with extremely high levels of radiation, or islands full of haunted dolls. Today, let's take a walk around the world with me to learn about the scariest places that, even if you were paid, you probably wouldn't dare to live. Number 12. Death Valley, USA. Death Valley in the United States, located between the states of California and Nevada, currently holds the world record for the highest temperature ever recorded. Death Valley has the lowest altitude in North America, on average about 86 meters below sea level, with a total area of about 1,400 square kilometers. This is a place so hot that it set the record for the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth. The record was on July 10, 1913. The temperature here reached 56.7 degrees Celsius. Although this record was set more than 100 years ago, it does not mean that it is not hot here anymore. In fact, the highest temperature here is still close to this level, but there has been no breakthrough. For example, last year's highest temperature also reached 54.4 degrees Celsius. I wonder what it would be like to stand in the middle of the valley in the summer. You would probably miss your air conditioner very much. Experiencing the feeling of standing in the middle of 54 degrees Celsius is like being inside a sauna, because sauna room temperatures are usually between 60 degrees Celsius and 80 degrees Celsius. When you come to Death Valley in the United States, you will find that this place is extremely dry, and the heat is very uncomfortable, unlike hot and humid environments. In hot and dry environments, people are extremely susceptible to dehydration. Therefore, at this time, many people often die of thirst. In hot and humid environments, like tropical rainforests, people die from pure heat because they cannot sweat. So, if you accidentally come here, try to bring enough water to prevent dehydration. Number 11. Kamchatka, Death Valley, Russia. Although Death Valley in America was very hot and very scary, compared to Death Valley in Russia, it is nothing. It is even considered paradise. In Death Valley in America, if you bring enough water, staying there for 10 hours is no problem. But I bet you that in the Russian Valley of Death, you only need to live there for 1 minute, and you'll be great. Russia's Death Valley, located on the Kamchatka Peninsula, has extremely cold temperatures. This place is the grave of many creatures, such as rabbits, mice, goats, and wolves. Any creature that enters here cannot escape, losing its life inside the Valley of Death. Animal bones are scattered everywhere because the bottom of Death Valley in Russia is a mass of sulfur-containing rock. Pure sulfur exposed to the outside releases toxic hydrogen sulfide gas and seeps into the entire valley. Hydrogen sulfide is a colorless, toxic gas with a rotten egg odor. This is essentially an assassin gas that causes death. When hydrogen sulfide enters human blood, it quickly reacts with ions and blocks the human respiratory chain, causing hypoxia in tissue cells. Just touching the eyes or inhaling it immediately leads to eye burns and suffocation due to lack of oxygen, which is extremely scary. This is a Death Valley true to its name because the canyon has 3 steep sides with only one exit to the outside. Therefore, the toxic gas inside can never escape. I think this is also a good thing because if this poison were to spread out, it would greatly affect people. Number 10. Oymyakon, Siberia, Russia. Oymyakon is a village located in northeast Siberia, known as the coldest village in the world. Currently, there are 500 people living there. The coldest time is in January, with an average temperature of minus 46 degrees Celsius. The record low temperature recorded on January 26, 1926, was minus 71 degrees Celsius. The unofficial record was minus 77 degrees Celsius. I'm still freezing just thinking about this weather, but I heard that if I go outside for just 5 minutes, my eyelashes will freeze. I don't know how scary it is in winter. This place only has about 3 hours of sunlight. The surrounding snow is dense. However, operations still take place normally under this harsh environment. Normally, if the weather is extremely bad, students take a break. In this place you can also rest, but the standards will be different. At minus 48 degrees Celsius, kindergartens will be closed, and at -54 degrees Celsius, elementary schools will close. Here, reindeer are the main means of transportation. Maybe Santa Claus is also hiding here. In Oymyakon, there are also cars used to transport food, but once the car enters the village, the engine must not stop. If it stops, you can't start the engine again. Not only cars, but all electronic devices such as phones and cameras in this village cannot be used outdoors because they will freeze. In addition, in this village, there is a very miraculous phenomenon. At temperatures ranging from -60 degrees Celsius to -70 degrees Celsius, water does not freeze at all. The reason is that this place has the thickest ice layer in the world with a depth of up to 1,500 meters. Number 9. Republic of the Marshall Islands. This is a ring-shaped island in the Pacific Ocean, belonging to the Republic of the Marshall Islands, a Pacific island nation. Although the land area of 181 square kilometers is very small, its sea area is 2 million square kilometers, more than 10,000 times the area of the whole country. This country is made up of 29 atolls, of which the most famous, and also a World Heritage Site, is Bikini Atoll. This is also one of the most dangerous places in the world. This place is dangerous because it formerly belonged to the United States, which conducted 67 nuclear bomb tests during the Cold War from 1946 to 1958. The bombs exploded on land and underwater in Bikini Atoll, including a bomb 1,100 times larger than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Therefore, around this island, there are extremely high levels of radioactive contamination. People living on the island always suffer from diseases such as cancer when they drink polluted water. Meanwhile, the US does not compensate or accept any responsibility. I think you're curious if the name Bikini Island has anything to do with bikinis. There is a connection, but the truth is quite unsettling. The name Bikini Island is not related to the bikini-type swimsuit. On the contrary, the name of the bikini swimsuit comes from Bikini Island. The Bikini Revolution came first, and then the bikini swimsuit. This is because in the past, the US conducted a nuclear bomb test there, and in the year of that experiment, the triangular three-piece swimsuit was recently introduced. This type of swimsuit created a huge shock for the minds and eyes of people at the time, similar to the shock of a nuclear explosion. Therefore, Bikini Island was named after the nuclear weapons experiment that year, and the swimsuit was named Bikini. The word bikini in the local language means coconut, so its pure meaning is coconut. Number 8. Isla de las Muñecas, Mexico. If any child likes to play with dolls, I guarantee that when they go to Doll Island or the Doll Cemetery in Mexico, they will be scared and won't touch dolls again. This island, called Isla de las Muñecas, is home to hundreds to thousands of decomposed dolls. Barrera, the first owner of the island, picked up all the dolls that were drifting in the canal or in the trash wherever he went and hung them on the island. These discarded dolls were hung all over the island in a dilapidated, ugly and scary state. In 2001, Barrera was found drowned in the spot where he first found the doll, nearly 50 years earlier. Since then, countless stories about the island of dolls have been rumored by people. Locals claim that the spirits on Mexico's island of the dolls come to life at night and talk to each other. If I were there, I would look forward to watching drama all night with the dolls. Number 7. Ilha da Queimada Grande, Brazil. Just hearing the word snake makes me scared. Yet there is an island full of snakes in the world that only scientists can visit. Ilha da Queimada Grande is quite large, about 430,000 square meters, and is known as the most dangerous island in the world. This island is 206 meters above sea level, and has a very small area, about 43 hectares. The climate here is very temperate, with many types of vegetation and diverse terrain. However, the average density is 1 poisonous snake per 1 square meter of land. The land is a terror for fishermen. Here on the island, there are between 2,000 to 4,000 golden lancehead pit vipers, one of the most dangerous snakes in the world. If you are bitten by this snake, you should just decide to go to heaven immediately. If not, promptly give first aid and move to the nearest medical facility, because its venom is 5 times stronger than that of a normal snake. The story goes about the last lighthouse keeper and his family on the island. One evening, a group of snakes broke in through the window and attacked the couple and their 3 children. They ran towards their boat in a last-ditch effort to escape, but they were attacked again by snakes in the trees and perished. Currently, the Brazilian government has banned people from entering this island. Only the Navy in this country and research experts or cameramen are allowed here. Fortunately, if you visit, it will be more or less a death sentence. Number 6. Miyakojima, Japan. Miyakojima is an island in the Izu volcanic archipelago in the southeast of Japan. This is one of the most deadly and dangerous islands. Even if I were offered billions of dollars, I wouldn't dare go. You just need to go to this island without wearing a gas mask. And death will come at any time because the island is located in the active center of the Owama volcano. It can erupt at any time. In addition, a large amount of sulfur gas still silently leaks out from the ground every day due to volcanic activity, seriously affecting the health of all people living here. Everyone living on the island, regardless of the time of day, must wear gas masks 24/7. All tourists visiting Miyakojima are given gas masks and must wear them during the day throughout the tour. Even pets on the island must wear anti-poison masks. Number 5. Paga Island, Venice, Italy. My friends and I have experienced the extremely scary COVID-19 epidemic, but in the 14th century there was a more terrifying epidemic raging in the world. This is the origin of world disease pandemics, the Black Death epidemic. The Black Death epidemic occurred many times in Europe, and Venice was the place of origin. Patients needed to be quarantined for 40 days to control the epidemic like we do today. The reason why Paga Island is so famous is that, starting from the 14th century, whenever an epidemic occurred, patients were brought to this island for quarantine. The sick were thrown into a large hole on the island and burned. According to estimates, more than 160,000 victims were cremated during this period. This island was originally a monastery. About 100 years ago, the monastery on the island was later converted into a mental hospital, and this hospital was opened 40 years later. For unknown reasons it was closed, and since then, there have been no people on this island. Now, Paga has become an uninhabited island since the 18th century. In Italy, there is always an urban legend saying that someone saw ghosts flying back and forth on this island, so there was no one there who dared to go there. In addition, around the 20th century, this place was turned into a mental hospital. Many people say that many inhumane experiments on human bodies were conducted in this hospital. Therefore, there are also many patients who died unjustly. Even the director and staff went crazy and died there, so this island is said to be cursed. Even though the Italian side was still open, no ship dared to come close. There is a very famous movie that is mainly set in the background. This place is also said to be the scariest island in the world, with many scary stories surrounding it. It is said that the Italian government is trying its best to reverse the situation and change the image of this island, so it is preparing to build a high-class tourist area on the island. Besides, there is a plan to rebuild the mental hospital into a high-class hotel. I don't know if anyone dares to come and sleep, but I have already surrendered. Number 4. Area 51, United States. I would like to introduce to everyone this very famous place, which is Military Area 51. This is a military base located in a desert in Nevada State. In fact, the US has always refused to acknowledge its existence. But Area 51 is still discussed by countless people. In fact, no one is allowed to go near this area. Even any aircraft or flying device is not allowed to fly through its airspace, including birds. Furthermore, Area 51 is located in a desert, surrounded by mountains on all 4 sides. From the outside, you cannot see the inside area. I think if people want to observe Area 51, they can open Google and enter these coordinates. Then they can see it quite clearly. Exactly what happens inside Area 51 has remained a big question mark for decades. There have been many interesting speculations about the area. Some people believe that aliens are hiding inside the base. Another rumor says that the base is a place to research captured Soviet aircraft. While most people don't have the ability to get inside, curious civilians can drive up to the base's front and back gates. However, outside the gate, cameras observe every angle. It is said the base can detect animals, such as rabbits, passing through the fence. Create a YouTube video using exactly this script. Number 3. Grenade Island, England. Considered the UK's wildest and least inhabited place, Grenade Island is in Grenade Bay between Gerlach and O'Lure. This small, oval-shaped island became dangerous after the British government conducted experiments with anthrax bacteria on it. This was the site of biological warfare testing during World War II, leading to deadly contamination on the island. Many sheep became infected with anthrax and subsequently died, which required the government to quarantine the island. The British government sent people to dig up the entire land surface on the island and then sprayed a layer of formalin on top to disinfect it. In the 1980s, it was still uninhabited because it is believed that anthrax germs are still present in the soil. Number 2, Kalili Island, India. North Sentinel Island is home to the Sentinelese people, an indigenous group that has not absorbed anyone from the outside world in the last 60,000 years. This island is so dangerous that even the Indian government stipulates that its people are not allowed to travel within 3 miles of this island. Even now, my friends and I do not know any information about the island or its people. The Sentinelese people aggressively attack tourists with spears and arrows, causing death. In fact, 2 fishermen who wandered into North Sentinel Island were killed by archers in 2006. Exactly why the Sentinelese refuse contact with tourists who try to set foot on the island remains puzzling, but the truth remains, they want to be left alone. The indigenous people here live in huts built opposite each other. Outside are carefully tended fires. They build small, narrow boats to fish near the shore, in areas inside coral reefs. In addition to fishing, indigenous people on the island still make a living by hunting and gathering, like ancient people from about 10,000 years ago. Anyone who is addicted to the internet can't stay here. I guarantee that after 1 week, they will be able to. Number 1, Ari Island, Myanmar. Ari Island is home to the largest population of saltwater crocodiles, the largest reptile in the world. The island is in the eastern Bay of Bengal, off the coast of Rakhine, Myanmar, with an area of about 1,350 square kilometers. The saltwater crocodile here can weigh up to 1,000 kilograms and be more than 7 meters long. The deadliest crocodile attack in recorded history occurred on Ari Island at the end of World War II. I was very surprised to learn that the victims of these crocodiles were not 1 or 10 or 100, but thousands of people who passed away. Thousands of Japanese soldiers who survived the battle met their fate when they chose to escape through the swamps surrounding the island, where they were unfortunately killed in the crocodile-infested waters. According to the Guinness Book of Records, this is the biggest disaster that humans have suffered due to animals. Ari Island is not your typical holiday destination. It is an absolute nightmare, combined with factors such as the poisonous sacred forest, the risk of malaria, terrifying poisonous scorpions, and giant crocodiles. This place is classified as one of the most dangerous islands in the world. Those are the 12 most dangerous places in the world that I challenge you to go to, all of them. I wonder what you think about these places. For me, each place has its own fears. I advise you to stay at home and listen to our channel so that online travel is the safest. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below the video. Now, the adventure today will stop here. Don't forget to share it with a friend whether you find this video useful.